And the Eagles will snap it again. 33 seconds to go. And Pickett will take the football and take the knee. And that's going to round it up. We will count down these seconds for you.
That'll do it, boys
They
and
are
girls.
jamming the field. 18, 17, 16, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over. The Philadelphia Eagles have won Super Bowl 59. They have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. It's their second Super Bowl win in 7 years. What a game. What a season. What a team. The greatest Eagles team in modern history. Eagles fans, savor it and rejoice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Early Evening Sports Cafe with the Ginch. I would be the Ginch, a.k.a. Ryan Nutt. My Chiefs took an ass from yesterday. Got taken behind the woodshed. We saw this coming. We said it for the last 2 weeks. Nobody would believe me. It was a 2021 kind of feel for me. I had that same feel when they had the rematch with the Buccaneers, beating them in the regular season. The Buccaneers put them behind the woodshed and beat the holy hell out. So again, welcome to another edition, Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. So where do I start? Ass whooping, taken behind the woodshed, dismantled. Nobody would believe me. Everybody said it was going to be close. I was not one of those people. Look, bottom line is this. If you can't run the football, you're not going to win. I said this on End Zone to End Zone last night from Goose's Monte Cristo Lounge at Tobacconist. If I would have been the Eagles, my defensive game plan would have been play my base defense. Your running game doesn't scare us. We are not going to let you do what you do best, and that's throw the football. And what do you think the Eagles did? Never blitzed. Got pressure with 6 sacks. It reminded me of the Super Bowl 55 disaster against the Buccaneers. And all credit goes to the Eagles. Again, I said this last night as well. The Eagles were not going to change who they were. They committed to running the football, play lights out defense. And look, it's not like the Chiefs' defense played horrible. But when your offense is turning it over 3 times, they can't muster up a goddamn first down because they can't run the football. What do you think's going to happen? Kansas City offense yesterday put the defense in a hell of a bind. When it was 10-0, I wasn't nervous. When it got to 17-0, I knew it was over. You knew it. You could feel it. You could sense it. I've been saying this for 2 weeks. I've been saying for 2 weeks they were going to get boat raced. Did I think they were going to get boat raced that bad? No. And I will go into it a little bit more. I will explain to you what happened yesterday in that atrocious effort by the Chiefs. Their offensive line was putrid, pungent, rancid. But that's the way it's been all year with this team. all those close games, different ways to win, but they hadn't faced a defense like this. And basically what the Eagles did defensively was, we're playing our base defense. We know you can't run a football. Your running game doesn't scare us. We are not going to allow you to throw the ball over the field like you did 2 years ago. This Eagles defense is way far and above beyond what that Eagles defense was 2 years ago. Not even compare. Can't even compare them. It's like apples to oranges. Our front four is better than your offensive line. And that's what they did. Philadelphia basically said, you're going to have to beat us running the football. We're going to drop 7. You're not throwing the ball all over the field. Conversely, Kansas City's defense shut down Barkley. Kansas City's defense game plan was, you're not going to beat us running the football. Jalen, you're going to have to beat us with your arm. And for the most part, it was working. But again, Kansas City's offense was FUBAR. It was FUBAR. And when you're giving the Eagles offense short fields because you're turning the ball over, one was a pick 6 by Mahomes. And then he threw another horrible interception. And you know, conversely, the Eagles didn't really have to do all that much offensively. So I am going to compare. Let's go to last night's stats. I mean, it was 40-6 at one point. It took me back to the Tampa Bay game in the Super Bowl. It also took me back to when the Seahawks beat the holy shit out of the Broncos. When Peyton Manning was on his last leg. And I know some of the stats are padded for the Chiefs. And the Eagles did exactly what the Buccaneers did 4 years ago. And I will show you. The Eagles probably watched all kinds of tape from that Super Bowl when the Buccaneers dismantled the Chiefs. Let's go to the box score. Mahomes was 21-32, 257, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, but it was garbage time. He was sacked 3 times. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Chiefs ran the ball 11 times for 49 yards. And Mahomes was the leading rusher. Kareem Hunt had 3 carries. Samaje Perine, 1 carry. Isaiah Pacheco, 3 carries. Again, we don't respect your run game because you have none. We're not going to let you throw the ball all over the field like you did last time. You're going to have to beat us running the football. And the Kansas City Chiefs didn't even try to establish a running game. 3 rushes in the first half? What are you fucking kidding me? Xavier Worthy had 8 catches for 157, 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce was dormant. And Eagles side, Jalen Hurts, 17-22, 221, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Saquon Barkley carried it 25 times for 57 yards. But Philadelphia ran the ball 45 times for 135 yards. It's only a 3 yards per carry average. but they ran it 45 fucking times as opposed to your 11. Ball control. Keep that other guy on the sidelines. Again, 3 turnovers by the Chefs. And again, Kansas City's defense didn't play all that bad. Philadelphia was 3 of 12 on third down. The Chiefs were 3 of 11. Eagles won the rushing battle. They won the turnover battle. $11 rushing attempts for 49 yards. Let's go back to Super Bowl 55. Four years ago. Patrick Mahomes was 26 of 49, 270 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Chiefs ran the ball collectively 17 times for 107 yards that day. Kelsey had 10 catches for 133 yards. On the flip side, Tom Brady was 21 of 29, 201, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Tampa Bay ran the ball 33 times for 145 yards. Does this sound familiar? Gronk with 6 catches for 67 yards, 2 touchdowns that game. You go to the team stats. Kansas City was 3 of 13 on third down. Sound familiar? Tampa Bay outrushed Kansas City, and they won the turnover battle. Does this sound familiar? This was boat race round 1. Yesterday was boat race round 2. If you can't run the ball, and you're turning it over, and you're putting your defense in bad spots, I don't give a fuck what game you play. Preseason, regular season, playoffs, not going to happen. I will guarantee you, at some point in the last 2 weeks, the Eagles went back and took a look at what the Buccaneers did 4 years ago. These are mirror images of one another. Super Bowl 55, Super Bowl 59. There's really no difference. It was the same formula. Tampa Bay had the best rushing defense that year in the National Football League. Mirror images of one another. Tampa Bay that year, and here, just hold on. Kansas City, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They had the 16th ranked rushing defense or rushing offense that year. They had the number 1 passing offense that year. What did Tampa Bay do? We don't respect your run game. You're going to have to beat us running the football. But we're not going to let you throw it all over the field. Does this sound familiar from last night? They're mirror images of one another. Philadelphia did to Kansas City what Tampa Bay did to Kansas City 4 years ago. And everybody thought I was crazy. Oh, they're not going to get boat raced. It's going to be close. It's either going to be a close Chiefs win or a close Eagles win. I was not in that boat. And defensively that year, the Chiefs weren't all that bad. Fast forward to 2024. Philadelphia had the second-ranked pass defense in the National Football League. Just played into their hands. If we want to take it a step further, pardon me while all this refreshes. Philadelphia had the fourth-ranked run defense in the National Football League. You want to know where Kansas City ranked rushing the football this year? 26th. 26th. They were 15th overall in passing. Again, Philadelphia said, we know you can't run the football. Your running game is non-existent. We're going to drop 7. Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Tampa Bay, Kansas City. And again, it's not like the Chiefs' defense sucked. It's just that their offense continued to put them in bad position after bad position. If your offense is sucking that bad, your defense is going to wear down, man. You run the ball 17 times for 45 yards, and you're turning it over 3 times. I don't give a fuck what defense it is. You're not winning. You're just not. And the writing on the wall has been there for the Chiefs for the last 3 months. Isaiah Pacheco was never the same after he got injured this year. Conversely, Philadelphia stuck to their formula. We know what our identity is. We're going to pound the rock. We're going to play solid defense. And as long as we don't beat ourselves, we're going to win. Kansas City, it was patchwork. The offensive line was a mess most of the year. Probably after the 10th or 11th game of the season, Kansas City couldn't run football worth dick. They sucked. 26 overall in rushing. Philadelphia had the number 2 rushing attack this year. They were at the bottom passing offense. Why? We're going to jam it down your throat. If you can't stop it, why are we going to get away with from that? I'm not going to do it. Give a rat's ass how pissed off A.J. Brown gets. If we could ram it down the other team's throat, and I said this, there's nothing more demoralizing for a defense than to ram it down your throat. And the Eagles ran it 45 times yesterday. You know how demoralizing that is to a defense? Talk about the refs and shit all you want to throughout the season. Put that to rest. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Bottom line, Eagles are younger. They're better. Top to bottom, overall. Overall football team, they're better. And Kansas City was just it was patchwork. Give all the credit to the Eagles and the game plan that they had. Offensively, if we just like back in 2002, 2003, go back and take a look at the stats when the Buccaneers played the Raiders. I think the Buccaneers ran it 35 times, only for like 90 some yards, but they still were committed to the run. And for all the passing and shit, I'm going to beat this till it's dead 50 times over. For as much of a passing league as it is, when you get to December and January and headed into the Super Bowl, if you cannot run the football and control the clock, you ain't fucking winning. So that's basically it in a nutshell. I'm trying to not get myself too worked up about it. The Chiefs 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, 6 years. Most organizations and fan bases would take that. Every once in a while, you're going to get your teeth knocked in. We just don't expect it at the highest level in that particular type of game. Patrick Mahomes had one of his worst games of his career. But the Eagles did that to him. The Eagles did that to their offensive line. Our front four is better than your 5. And the Chiefs didn't even try to run it. Period. The Eagles stuck to their identity. The Chiefs, you tried to stick to your identity for the first quarter. That's not working. We need to change it up a little bit. Whether that's running RPOs, whether that's doing some things in the run game. Wasn't going to happen. Excuse me. And the Eagles' offseason moves and the moves that Harry Roseman made the last couple of years was tailored to this. Last year, their defense was atrocious. It was just a throwaway error. And some of the offseason moves that he made were tailored to do what they did last night. The Chiefs, on the other hand, and I was very critical over the summer, Brett Veach, the GM, we ran it back twice with the same nucleus. Let's run it back a third time and see what happens. And sometimes you outthink yourself as a GM. I said in the offseason last year, they still needed another running back. Isaiah Pacheco, he's a decent back. He's not all world. They didn't go after a top-notch receiver. Whether they brought in DeAndre Hopkins this season at some point, I think in the middle of the season, but he's a shell of himself, let's be honest. And Kelsey can't do it all. Xavier Worthy got hurt. Hollywood Brown got hurt. I get it. But it's the second and third lines that need to step up. Kansas City doesn't have that right now. And their offseason is going to be one of much turmoil. We all know what happens to Super Bowl losers the following year. Most of them don't make the playoffs. And I'm going to say this now, and I'll be the first to say it. This Kansas City team, as constructed the last 6 years, the Eagles have now shut the door on the Chiefs. And I'll say that as a Chiefs fan. The rest of the league is caught up. Hopefully the Eagles can keep this nucleus together. And we understand Kellen Moore is going to the Saints to be the next head coach. As with all Super Bowl winning teams and free agency, you're going to lose certain pieces. Hopefully they keep that crux together. It'll be interesting to see coming off a Super Bowl W, how it propels them into next season. But this particular nucleus of Eagles, if they can keep this together and they stay healthy, health is a big part of it, knock on wood. Saquon Barkley behind those atrocious Giants offensive lines. Finally, he got behind a fantastic offensive line and he stayed relatively healthy. You're always going to get nicked up throughout the year. That's par for the course. Chiefs, on the other hand, you've got a stadium issue right now. Are they going to move to the Kansas side? Or are they going to stay in the Missouri side for the new stadium? You don't know. There's many players under contract. I don't think they're going to be able to keep everybody just from the stat they're strapped cap wise. But glaring things that the Chiefs need in an offseason. They need a bell cow running back, like the Ravens have with Derrick Henry, like what Philly has with Barkley, like the Packers have with Jacobs. You have to be able to run the football in the later months. Period. You just even December and January. Throughout the year, you have to be able to run the ball. You have to have ball control. And the Chiefs right now don't have a running game. It's non-existent. Offensive line-wise, they're going to have to think of something. Because what those guys did yesterday with that performance, they sucked out loud. The Chiefs find themselves in the same position that they were after they lost to Tampa Bay in Super Bowl 55. How does this organization respond? How does the team respond? Just got your ass handed to you. It's going to stew all offseason. How does Mahomes respond off his worst game of his career? On the flip side, the Eagles, bringing in Barkley was the thing that sent them over the top offensively. Because Jalen doesn't have to feel like he has to do it all. I got 26 behind me. I can hand it off to him 20, 25 times. And Jalen can run it between 5 and 8 times a game on RPOs. Jalen doesn't have to feel like he has to do it all. So there you have it. Again, if you're watching on YouTube or you're tuning in live StreamYard, I have put the link out there if you want to join in as a guest. Feel free. I'm always about company. I'm always about the banter. Good banter. So again, to recap, congratulations to the Eagles for winning Super Bowl 59 and demolition of my Chiefs. Sometimes you just have to take the ass whooping, learn from it, and move on. So I will congratulate for as much shit that the Eagles fans talk, and they make me sick. Most Philadelphia fans make me sick to my stomach because they're fucking obnoxious. And the 80% that are obnoxious ruin it for the other 20% that are normal. But congratulations to the Eagles. And I'm in a little bit of a depression mode because college football's been over. The NFL's over. I know we have off-season stuff that we could talk about. But now it's on to, you got the Daytona 500 coming up Sunday. NHL is in their break. NBA is almost at the All-Star break. Soccer is kicking in with the Champions League tomorrow, as well as I think the Premier League kicks back in this weekend. So let's go to some of the news of the day. Let's see. Excuse me. A panel has ruled for Laura and Rodriguez in sale of the Timberwolves. This is reported by Wendy from ESPN. In a split decision announced Monday, a three-person arbitration panel has sided with prospective Minnesota Timberwolves and Lynx owners Mark Lowry and Alex Rodriguez in a sales contract dispute against current owner Glenn Taylor. The binding ruling potentially sets up a high-stakes vote among fellow NBA owners to decide control of the franchise. Just trying to read verbatim here. The arbitrators determined Taylor had violated terms of the sales agreement when he announced last March 28th that Lowry and Rodriguez had dismissed a deadline for a $600 million payment that would have secured an 80% majority control of the teams. Taylor had agreed to sell them to Lowry and Rodriguez in 2021 for a $1.5 billion valuation, with the purchase coming in 3 steps. Lowry and Rodriguez disputed Taylor's interpretation of the contract and believed that it had the right to a 90-day extension. And the matter went to arbitration, which took place in a week-long hearing in November. The investors had already bought about 36% of the team for more than $500 million in 2 previous transactions. It looks like Lowry and Rodriguez have raised an additional $950 million, placed it in an escrow, and are ready to finish the purchase and operate the teams, sources told ESPN. A lot of legal mumble jumble. I mean, so good for them. Seems like ex-players and stuff that now have the money or can raise the money, a la Magic Johnson with the Commanders, Tom Brady with the Raiders. Luka Doncic has been upgraded to probable for a game tonight versus the Jazz. So it looks like Doncic will make his Lakers debut. Kevin Durant has shrugged out trade talk. He just said it's part of the business. So that trade watch is ongoing. Let's see. Tiger Woods will not play in the Genesis Invitational because of the death of his mother. Thoughts and prayers out to the Woods family. Really a slow sort of news day other than the post-Super Bowl banter. Let's hop to the NBA. Anthony Davis is injured already for the Mavs. He has an abductor strain. Sources have said it could stretch out to a month. Go figure. Normally what happens when you make a big trade, one of the other prospective parties gets hurt. Sucks for Mavs fans. 76ers Embiid acknowledges he might need another knee surgery. I'm not even going to entertain it. I don't have anything else on the whole Joel Embiid thing. When I had Renee Washington on last week and we were talking about this, I said 3 years ago they should have cut ties with Embiid. Get what you can for him and start fresh. Because this is, again, the things that he said. This is turning into a little bit of a fiasco now. In the association tonight, excuse me, still sort of battling this, whatever it is. In the first, Cavs up on the Timberwolves 26-8. Also in the first, the Hawks up on the Magics 22-17. Spurs up on top of the Wizards in the first 37-27. Tipping off soon, Hornets are at the Nets. The Celtics are at the Heat. 8 o'clock, Warriors are at the Bucks. The Pelicans are at the Thunder. At 8:30, the Kings are at the Mavericks. 9 o'clock, the Trailblazers are at the Nuggets. And at 10:30, the Jazz are at the Lakers. Go to the NBA standings. We haven't done it for about a week. Eastern Conference, Cavs still sit at top, 42-10. Celtics are second, 37-16, 5.5 back. New York Knicks are third, 34-18. They're 8 games back. The Pacers are fourth, 29-22, 12.5 back. The Bucks are fifth, 28-23, 13.5 back. The Pistons in sixth, 27-26, 15.5 back. The Heat are seventh, 25-25, 16 games back. The Orlando Magic are eighth, 26-28, 17 games back. The Hawks, ninth, 25-28, 17.5 back. Doubles, 10th, 22-31, 20.5 back. 76ers, Nets, Raptors, Hornets, Wizards. Hottest teams in the Eastern Conference right now: Celtics, Knicks, and Pacers are 7-3, their last 10. The Charlotte Hornets, on the flip side, are 2-8, their last 10. Excuse me. In the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder sit on top at 42-9. The Grizzlies are second at 35-17. They're 7.5 back. The Nuggets, that would be the Denver Nuggets, they're third, 34-19, 9 games back. The Houston Rockets, fourth, 33-20, 10 games back. The Lakers are fifth, 31-19, 10.5 back. The Timberwolves are sixth at 30-23, 13 back. Clippers are seventh, 29-23, 13.5 back. Mavericks are eighth at 28-25, they're 15 back. Kings, Suns tied for ninth, 26-26, 16.5 back, as are the Warriors. Spurs, Blazers, Jazz, Pelicans. Hottest team in the West right now, the Lakers are 9-1 in their last 10. On the flip side, the Jazz and the Pelicans are 2-8. In the NHL, the Four Nations face-off coming up. But that'll be kicking off Wednesday when Canada plays Sweden. That's up there in the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec. It's at 8 p.m. on TNT, True TV, and Max. On Thursday, also there in Montreal, the USA plays Finland at 8 o'clock on ESPN, ESPN Plus. Then on Saturday, Finland plays Sweden at 1 o'clock. That'll be on ABC, ESPN Plus. At 8 o'clock on ABC, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus, the USA faces Canada. Then next Monday, Canada plays Finland, and Sweden plays the US of A. Or maybe Trump will change the name. The United States of Trump, maybe. So let's go to the standings, sir, at the break. Haven't done that in about a week. In the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic Division, the Panthers up on top, 34-20-3 with 71 points. Maple Leafs are second, 33-20-2 with 58 points. They're 3 back. The Lightning are third at 31-20-4, 66 points. They're 5 back. The Senators are fourth, 29-23-4, 62 points. 9 back. The Detroit Red Wings are fifth, 28-22-5, 61 points. They're 10 back. The Bruins are sixth, 27-24-6, 60 points, 11 back. Canadians seventh, 25-26-5, 55 points, 16 back. And the Sabres in last place, 22-27-5, 49 points. They're 22 games back. The Atlantic Division, if you're looking for a team that's hot, Red Wings and the Panthers with 7 victories out of their last 10. In the Metropolitan Division, the Capitals running away with it. They are 36-11-8, 80 points. The Hurricanes are second, 33-19-4, 70 points. They're 10 back. Devils are third at 31-20-6. They are 68 points, 12 back. Blue Jackets are fourth, 26-22-8, 60 points. They are 20 back. The Rangers, 27-4-4, 58 points. They're 22 back. Islanders are sixth, 25-23-7, 57 points. They're 23 back. Penguins are 23-25-9, 55 points, as well as the Flyers. They are both 25 points back. Out west in the Central Division, the Winnipeg Jets sit on top at 39-14-3 with 81 points. Stars are second, 35-18-2, 72 points, 9 back. The Wild are third, 33-19-4. They are 70 points, 11 back. Avalanche are fourth, 33-22-2, 68 points, 13 back. The Utah Hockey Club, fifth, 24-23-9, 57 points, 24 back. The Blues, sixth, 25-26-5, 55 points. They're 26 back. Preds are 19-28-7, 45 points, 36 back. And my lowly Chicago Blackhawks are 17-31-7, 41 points, 40 back. The Pacific, Edmonton Oilers and the Golden Knights are tied with 72 points apiece. Kings are third, 29-17-7, 65 points, 7 back. Canucks are 26-18-11, 63 points, 9 back. Flames are fifth, 26-21-8, 60 points, 12 back. The Ducks are 24-24-6, 54 points, 18 back. The Kraken, seventh, 24-29-4, 52, 20 points back. And the Sharks, 37 points, 35 back. If you're looking for a hot team in the West, that would be the Winnipeg Jets, 8-2 their last 10. 6:45 here on the East Coast. It'd be 4:45. I'm sorry, 7:45 here on the East Coast, 4:45 on the West Coast. Let's jump to the NCAA, shall we? NCAA men. I'll tell you what. Let's start off with the women's. Top 25 in action tonight. Right now at the half, number 8 Kentucky over Ole Miss, 37-31. And at 8 o'clock, Auburn takes on number 16 Oklahoma. Let's go to the rankings. Do the AP poll this week. 25th is Baylor, 24th is Creighton. Florida State's 23rd, Michigan State's 22nd, Alabama's 21st. Oklahoma State 20th, Georgia Tech 19th, West Virginia 18th, Maryland 17th. Oklahoma 16th, Tennessee 15th, Kansas State 14th, Duke is 13th, North Carolina's 12th, TCU's 11th, NC State's 10th. Ohio State 9, Kentucky 8, UConn 7, USC 6th, LSU is 5th, South Carolina 4th, Texas 3rd, Notre Dame is 2nd, and UCLA numero uno. Well, let's go to the men, shall we? Top 25 teams in action tonight. Number 23, Clemson, coming off that big win against Duke. At the half, or not, well, it's close to the half. They're all over North Carolina, 47-31. Could Hubert Davis be in trouble in North Carolina? At 9 o'clock, Baylor travels to take on number 6, Houston. Let's go to the rankings. Go to the AP poll. Number 25 is Maryland. 24th is Creighton. 23rd is Clemson. 22nd, Mississippi State. 21st, Mizzou. UConn has fallen out of the top 25, by the way. 20th is Michigan. 19th is Ole Miss. Marquette is 18th. Kansas is 17th. Wisconsin, 16th. Kentucky, 15th. Memphis, 14th. Arizona, 13th. Texas Tech, 12th. Michigan State's 11th. Iowa State's 10th. St. John's up to 9th. Texas A&M 8th. Purdue 7th. Houston 6th. Tennessee 5th. Florida 3rd. Duke 3rd. They were tied for 3rd. Sorry. Alabama 2nd, and Auburn numero uno. Let's see, what's today? The 10th. My 5 weeks till March Madness. 2.5 weeks till really conference tournaments start. On the soccer front, Champions League kicks off this week again. Again, I would do more soccer coverage, but there's so many divisions and so many leagues. It would take me 2 hours. Yes, tomorrow the UFA Champions League kicks back in. 12:45 p.m. on Paramount Plus. Brest takes on Paris Saint-Germain. At 3 o'clock, Paramount Plus, Juventus takes on PSV Eindhoven. At 3 on Paramount Plus, Man City tackles Real Madrid. And at 3 on CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus, Sporting CP takes on Borussia Dortmund. Then on Wednesday, UEFA Champions League. Excuse me. Paramount Plus, all these games on Paramount Plus. Club Brugge takes on Atalanta. AS Monaco takes on Benfica. 3 p.m. Celtic takes on Bayern Munich. 3 p.m. Feyenoord Rotterdam takes on AC Milan. Thursday, the Europa League kicks back in, but I will go to the Premier League. On Friday, Brighton takes on Chelsea. It's at 3 p.m. And on Saturday, Leicester City hosts Arsenal. That's at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. These are all at 10 o'clock. Aston Villa hosts Ipswich. Fulham hosts Nottingham Forest. Man City hosts Newcastle United. Southampton hosts Bournemouth. West Ham hosts Brentford. And at 12:30 p.m., Crystal Palace hosts Everton. And then on Sunday, ladies and gentle peoples, At 9 a.m., Liverpool host Wolverhampton. And at 11:30, Tottenham host Man United. Let's go to the table. And as I always do, on top of the Premier League, again, Liverpool is first with 56 points. Arsenal second, 50 points. They're 6 back. Nottingham Forest, ladies and gentlemen, third at 47 points. They're 9 back. Chelsea's fourth, 43 points, 13 back. Man City and Newcastle United essentially tied with 41 points apop, 15 back. Bournemouth is 7th with 40 points, 16 back. Villa 8th, 37 points, 19 back. Fulham 9th, 37 points. Like I said, they are 19 back. And 10th, Brighton with 31 points, 25 points back. Southampton was most likely going to be relegated with only 9 points. Wolverhampton, Leicester City, and Ipswich are all vying to stay up in the Premier League. On the golf front, again, the Genesis Invitational. The Waste Management Phoenix Open, ladies and gentlemen, over the weekend. Thomas Detry won with a -24 under par score. Last place in 77th, who made the cut, Ryan Palmer, still made $17,000. Thomas Detry won $1,656,000. Let's see what else. On the LPGA, over the weekend, it was the Founders Cup. Yalimi No won with a -21 score, under par. She pocketed $300,000. Trying to see in some of the other sports. Again, it's Speed Weeks at Daytona. The NASCAR Hall of Fame had some inductees over the weekend. And they would have been Ricky Rudd, Carl Edwards, Ralph Moody. He was elected on the Pioneer ballot. Dr. Dean Sicking, who is credited with creating the life-saving safer barrier after Dale Earnhardt's 2001 death. Retired motorsports writer Mike Harris was also honored as a recipient of the 2025 Squire Hall Award for NASCAR Media Excellence. And again, Daytona's coming up. If you want to know, where did I just see it? Give me just a minute. I think I went over this last week. But if you're keeping track, this week, On Wednesday, again, I will go over this again. At 10:05 a.m., the NASCAR Cup Series, they will be practicing at 10:05. 12:30 p.m., it's NASCAR Media Day. 8:15, there will be qualifying for the Daytona International Speedway race, the Daytona 500. 8:15. Yes, let's qualify at night for a day race. Just some of the buffoonery NASCAR continues to do. That will set the front row. Then after qualifying, post NCS NASCAR Cup Series qualifying. Thursday, 4:05 p.m., the ARCA Series will be practicing. And then at 5:05, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series will be practicing. Then again at 7 p.m., Duel 1 at Daytona, the first duel. That's right. Let's run these races at night for a day race. That's at 7 p.m. Post NASCAR Cup Series presser after the first duel. Then at 8:45 p.m., it will be the second duel. Blah, 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 blah. On Friday at 1:30 p.m., the ARCA Series will have their qualifying. Then at 3 p.m., qualifying for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race. 4:30 p.m. or 4:35 p.m., I'm sorry. The NASCAR Xfinity Series has their practice. Then at 5:35 on Friday, the NASCAR Cup Series will have their second practice. Then at 7:30, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race from Daytona, the Fresh from Florida 250. Excuse me. And then, of course, after the Truck Series, then it will be the post game. Post race. Sorry. Then, of course, Saturday will be the Xfinity race. And then on Sunday, you will have the Daytona 500. I will get more into it on Thursday. What to watch for. And then I'll make my picks for the top 5. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really seeing that. It's kind of a slow day. Other than I said, the post Super Bowl stuff. Again, I want to thank everybody who tunes in live. Don't be afraid to be a guest and click on that link. Hop on in the program. But again, congratulations to the Eagles, even though your fans still make me sick to my stomach. But the better team won. So sometimes you know when to hold them, know when to fold them. So, with all that being said, again, practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Give somebody a hug. You might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. Might make their day and pick them up. I will see everybody tomorrow. The line, I almost screwed that up. What used to be the line of scrimmage will now be student body rights. All college football all the time. What I'll be doing tomorrow is going over, like I said, most of the conferences have all their schedules out. So I think tomorrow I'll start with the ACC, go through each team. Again, we still know what kind of teams they're going to put out in the field because of the transfer portal and X, Y, and Z. But I'll run down the ACC schedule, highlighting some of the games that I think will decide the ACC next year. So, again, thanks for everybody that tunes in. I will see everybody tomorrow on the line of scrimmage.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again. Turn out